really pushing the envelope, and that's what we're going to continue to do. We look at a semifinal featuring Isurus taking on Imperial, Dust 2, Nuke, decided on Inferno if we need all three, which is what we got the other day. So let's see what these teams have in store for us on the ESL 1 Road to Rio.
Yeah, and already, you know, Dust 2 pistol round well and truly underway. I love that new little beat for heading into this game. That was a nice change.
Keeps you on your toes.
It certainly does. Speaking of that, K-Tex over here towards these long doors. Going to go ahead and tuck himself into the corner and hide himself away. Now, Isurus, they do have a pretty heavy bit of control towards this side of the map. They are looking to test the waters at long, so K-Tex could find himself on a bit of a timer here. In the meantime, we just saw Delboni deal with a man over on the catwalk. Now, there is still another player lying around in wait there to try and deal with this. They do check for
that is hilarious.
Bunny rabbits of Isurus out through the long doors. And Hunter's here in the form of Delboni, but he's only good for one. Deco getting that trade and keeping this at a 3-on-3. ZQKS, Showtime, and DZT have got to try and do the damage here. But this is interesting. It was a 3-on-3. Looked like it was going to be the A commitment. Isurus actually go ahead and leave long and now look to put their sights elsewhere. This has left Reversive here inside of the site alone with a lot of work to do. And ZQKS does make quick work of him.
Yeah, I mean, they've realized now, Imperial know exactly what's going on, so this is coming in a little bit late for Isurus, and they're going to be stuck in middle looking for gunfights that do go their way. One kill for Deco is traded, and Lynx is left alone in a 1-on-2. With damage done to both these players, it's more than winnable. Just a single shot going to need onto Showtime, who is giving him a bit of a wiggle outside of the doors. Lynx going to tap the fake, goes for the shot, gets the info on the second player, and all is going well for Lynx. Can he find the killing blow? 30 points of health, and he sticks upon. That's not the play as DZT comes out from the doors and finishes the job off. Imperial will take the pistol round after all. Isurus, I like the idea on that rotation there. I like the, you know, trying to get in the heads of Imperial, but if their player on the site doesn't die, maybe that goes well for them. But unfortunately, the information came very, very early, and Imperial were able to adjust off the back of it. The hopping out long is great as well. 3 players just, like you said, bunny hopping through the doors. Overwhelming K-Tex, and Imperial are going to take the pistol round. Force buy in the second for Isurus, Scout Deegs.
Well, lower controls, hang on a minute. Lower tunnels control, nab, there you go. Not controls, as I called it just then. Has been taken by Isurus, and now they look to get up onto the catwalk. And maybe looking like just a standard A play here in towards this site with the cat smokes to try and help out. Now, there is a bit of a heavy resistance here from Imperial. They've got 3 players back here towards A, and 2 of them occupy this site here and now. This is where this cat smoke is going to prove to be pretty important. With that going down, you know, suddenly it gives you the option to flood into CT and look to do some damage there. Try and, you know, negate some of these angles and shut down a man like ZQKS who's holding that scout over here towards the crossroads. However, Reversive's gone back and starts to now clear out these lower tunnels. There is still a chance that Isurus decide to change their mind. I mean, if the pistol round is anything to go by, they seem to be keen on these mid-round decisions, and that looks to be the case. They throw that catwalk smoke, they dive a man down into CT, and K-Tex has got to hold the line all alone. He's only good for 1. It is a 3-on-3 thanks to DZT. But a bomb plant found for Isurus. They're going to take that all day long.
Yeah, they made this round really, really winnable now. But Imperial, of course, are far better armed for this retake. And they have a kit on DZT in the tunnel. Well, not just DZT in the tunnel. The entire team coming together and pushing through the choke point. Deco's trying to hold off with the Deagle. The Molotov will be late. They can get right through that, you would think. But the player at the back is going to get sectioned off. It's a 2-on-2 inside of the site. And that's all they need as Reversive is able to shut it down with the MP9. 3 kills for him, double for Deco. And it's going to be Isurus finding their force by. You called it, Harry, the bail from Cat, right? Getting control of lower and jumping right off of a Cat take in towards a mid to B. I like that decision. One thing that's already looking good for Isurus is the fact that they're all on the same page. That can be, you know, it can be easier said than done to have your entire team listen to your in-game leader and completely change a strategy on a whim, on the fly, with very little time to react. You need to be fast at this level, and Isurus are more than that. In this round, it's a force right back. Imperial looking to put money where their mouth is. DZT has the upper tunnels, and that can allow for a quad A setup. if you want to give away middle, of course. And that does seem to be the case for Imperial. They're just going to full rotate towards this side of the map. Isurus taking their time on long, but they know that this is a possibility, right? And that's why 1962 is going to be coming in through the tunnels to try and clear this position. Oof.
Yeah, try being the operative word there as he gets shut down almost immediately. Still only a one-man advantage though for Imperial. Is definitely something for them to work with, and it is going to slow down this offensive from Isurus at the very, very least, right? They're probably going to be a little bit more measured now, a little bit worried, because they don't want to let this round slip through their fingers and have this kind of force by war look to start on Dust 2. Now, smokes get thrown down. There's double smoke set up to get them across. Reversive and Deco dealing with the first two. Securing this A site on the back of it.
Oh, the damage. It's painted across. Low players on both sides. A bomb can get dropped by a wallbang. Come on, Showtime. Almost there. Almost, but not quite.
He did hit him again,
yeah,
but for literally 1 damage.
I feel like if he aimed it into the box there, maybe he kills him. You know, just a light bit of damage through it. Instead, he only hits 1 shot on the corner, and now the retake is on here for Imperial. Already a man down in that position, and just like that, blink and you miss it. It's already a done deal. Isurus lock it down with the rifles in the post plant, and they will take the lead right back out of the hands of Imperial. It's going to have to be a full eco here for the CT side. Take a breather, give away a round to your opponents, and come back in with guns in the 5th.
Oh, no, this mid-play, yeah, this is not going to end well. Lynx is holding it down with the AWP, and this is not where you want to find yourself anytime soon. Obviously, it's only USPs for Imperial. They're really not expecting to get much out of this round, right? And really, they never should be allowed to get much out of this round. So Isurus are just looking to keep things clean. Ooh, they will go up and over Delboni, who is an unknown entity, at least until he whiffs those shots. And Noxie's very, very happy that that comes in. He gets the sound cue and then just pivots on the spot. K-Tex is the last man standing now. And Lynx has spotted him down here in the lower tunnels. That's 3 kills for him. And I'm already excited. You know, we've seen some nice stuff out of Lynx. With that AWP in hand, he's looking to make a bit of a statement, and it didn't look like he had one to go up against on the other side from Imperial. I don't think the money's there yet for this CT side squad.
Yeah, I mean, Lynx is the only exception, right, to this full Argentinian team. He is the guy from Chile. So, you know, obviously bringing in a player outside your country for good reason. His AWP prowess is available. And he's putting it to good use. In this round, misses a shot out long, though, and that will be a cross towards the pit for Imperial. They have position in the A site. Isurus look to take that away. 1962 finding a timing up catwalk. No one here to stop him with an Xbox smoke down. The line of sight for K-Tex was removed. So Isurus have to be wary of an A take. But right now, you can see players are coming late in from long, back through T-spawn towards B. If the bomb joins them, they could just straight up hit this site again with one of their cat takes. 1962 doesn't have a lot of utility to fake out, though, and he's getting naded down. Pressure from the A site. These tunnels players look to go out lower as well. Isurus still surrounding the A site right now, but as we've already seen, at any point you can bail, throw in that mid to B, and quickly set your sights towards a less defended area of the map. And that is definitely the case right now. Flash out middle. Noxie going to be going in first. We've got K-Tex on the corner, and Smoke's already coming through. No one really to support, and Showtime's stuck in a corner at B as well. We've got to hope these anchor positions can find multiple kills here for Imperial. At the bare minimum, K-Tex needs this one, and he does get away with it. Down low, though, the damage has been painted across, and 1962 has run right up catwalk to his demise. ZQKS ready on the site, and a 5-on-2. Isurus, their plan has fallen apart in this round. Their fake has not found too much, and they might not find a kill in this round at all. Delboni eventually gets dropped, but the trade is there. The bomb out of the picture. ZQKS almost burns to death, but he will have all the support he needs. 2 rounds for Imperial, and with 4 alive as well, money is being made.
curious. Yeah, okay, so Lynx still has his AW piece. Now we get to see this head-to-head. So QKS versus Lynx on the other side. Catwalk control taken fast here by Isurus. They do manage to get into the front line. We lost the sound there for a moment, but I was ready if needed to replicate those noises. I've done it once.
We've seen you do some gunshots in the past.
Yeah, you know, I've been refining it. K-Tex, though, he's not looking to mimic gunshots. He's looking to fire some off down here in middle. He does get traded very, very quickly by Noxy. Deco dropped over here at the B-bomb site. Showtime able to put up one. DZT is flanked all the way through the long doors. So at this point, Imperial have a very good understanding as to what's going on in this round. They know that it's this B commitment, and somehow that shot doesn't connect for Lynx. It looks like it went right through his legs. He nutmegged him as the kill comes through. Showtime, stellar B-bomb site hold there from that man, and Isurus going to call in a tactical timeout here to try and mull this one over. It's been a bit back and forth in the beginning, but since these rifles have come out, Imperial have been looking good. And on top of that, the money now in a pretty awkward spot for Isurus. So likely going to be focusing on the kind of game plan for the future. Maybe not so much in this pistol round here and now.
I like seeing Showtime be that Bianca player, right, in this map. You know, very difficult position to play. You can go 10 rounds in a row without even getting more than, just a dribble, smoke, and a couple of flashes, and maybe a peek with an AWP in tunnels. And then you can have, a round where you need to get multi-kills, you need to stand up if you want to have any chance of winning it. So, important to stay very aware at all times, and you can't let your attention drift. Showtime, definitely the most experienced player on this Imperial roster, so playing, in their hand to their best interests. Lower tunnels control, taken. K-Tex pushes mid off a spawn. I love it. When you cross off of mid towards B and you jump and you see no one in T spawn, I love it when players decide, okay, let's get aggressive. Let's take some mid control. Let's push lower. Isurus are going to have no information, of the whereabouts of you in middle. So Imperial, very, very aggressive round for them. Just taking fights, not waiting, not letting Isurus get comfortable. And they have the bomb as well up on Catwalk. Deco, 1-on-5. Bit of a formality, if anything. He's being pushed upper, but he's more than ready for it. Showtime, not getting spotted either. So Deco nowhere to go but the graveyard. Ooh. At least takes a round with him, but it's going to be a clean round for Imperial. And now the guns.
Now the guns. Round number 8 in front of us. If you're just watching, if you're just tuning in, let me remind you, this is a semifinal. For their group, at least. Winner of this goes on to play Boom, and just one best of 3 will separate them from that. Something that we did not see coming. No? Too soon?
Yeah, save the gold, Trace, really.
Sorry, man.
Economy's in a mess. Oh, dear, through the Molotov. That's a confident play, and K-Tex has again come through lower. Isurus not expecting it in back-to-back rounds, and they will get punished. He will get punished as a player late from spawn. Does deal with the wrap. He's got another. Okay. Noxy with 3, and the late T-spawn play works wonders for Isurus, as they don't even need to hold the B-bomb site. It's all about holding the tunnels.
And I told you, they did not see that coming.
Yeah, there we go, Trace. There we go. Coming through when we need it, when it matters most.
ZQKS. Shot there. It's going to end that run, that little 3K. He's going to hold on to this AWP to take it to the next round. Tie ball game, everybody.
And they do want to try and take this AWP away. It's ballsy that they're still looking for this man. ZQKS.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's got away. He's fine. He's chill. Everything's under control. Isurus, a 4th round on the board. And that's the thing, right? Like, with this Imperial squad, you've got a lot of names in here with a hell of a lot of experience behind them, right? You look at like Showtime, as you mentioned, Hugo, but then you got ZQKS in here as well, right? DZT. These guys have all been around a long while. They've also played with each other over a good few iterations of rosters in the past, so that's something that maybe lends itself into this series. It's kind of mental because, like, even though these aren't like household names that everyone's going to recognize instantly, these guys have been around for years, so. Certainly not lacking experience in the server.
Yeah, there's a bit of familiarity that comes in with these matches, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this Imperial core have been playing for quite some time, and that of ZQK, Showtime, and DZT, the 3 players that you mentioned. You know, we've even seen them underkeyed in 2019. So, what a world, what a time. Maybe not as successful as the old Keystar roster, but that's what they're aiming for, Trace. That's what they're gunning for. And the road to Rio could certainly be the place to make a name for yourself at the top level. Noxie's up cat, but he has been seen, and DZT has a Molotov ready and raring to go. DZT might actually clear this position out after the smoke, but Noxie's gone all the way back to join long. 5 players here for Isurus. Going to be committing. The AWP is ready, and the flash is not good. Lynx is going to be able to, or Lynx is going to get taken down on the cross, rather, towards the pit. And that's the AWP player lost in this round for Isurus. Where do you go from here?
Nowhere fast, I can assure you that. They're going to start to work their way up long here. The double boost into the site. Rather, single boost. There it is, an exchange of grenades and the shot. ZQKS. Make it look easy.
Oh,
and again.
They need to deal with him, and they finally do. But at quite the cost. I mean, that's a huge advantage taken.
Whoa.
Noxie tries to do what he can, but ultimately it's not enough, and Deco is forced out into the open by that Molotov. Imperial play that very, very well. You know, once they've got the man advantage, they don't rush those gunfights. Maybe the player at Crossroads, you know, going for that fast push was like the lipness test for it, and that didn't go their way. So they instead just use their utility to divide that site and force those players out into the open. No shelter, no safety, and everything goes in favor of Imperial. Now, ZQKS is already looking real good with this AWP. I'm liking that. I like that we're seeing him in good form.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the driving forces over here, it seems. At least that's what the numbers will tell you, Harry.
Yeah, and then, you know, Dust 2, great map for double AWPs. And if they want that, Showtime, more than available, ready and willing to grab that weapon. So, Imperial, plenty of things to fall back on right now. And well, no need to at the moment. 5-4, holding the lead. And it should get extended in this round with only pistols out for Isurus. No Kevlar behind it. Double smoke flash could be the mid to be set up here. ZQK has already spotted the first couple out mid. The flash is good. Actually, it's his team's flash, so he's going to have to fall back behind the smoke and try and buy time. Not much he can do, though. Going through it with the AWP against Eco, now that is a risk and he's willing to take. He won't get punished for it, and Showtime now has to hold his own at the back of the site, only good for 1, and that can be why it's so hard to play that B anchor position. Get a kill, not enough, as the retake is now on for Imperial at a disadvantage with guns gifted over. Things could get problematic.
It most certainly could. And this is not a round that Isurus are expecting to find much in. That's it. Imperial, they decide it's done. They're going to go save. They bow out of this round. And that's pretty huge. This double D from Reversive gets the entire job done pretty much single-handedly. And I say pretty much single-handedly. He gets it done single-handedly. So there's that. 5 rounds on the board now for Isurus in a round that they had next to nothing in. You know, just these upgraded pistols, not even armor behind them. Imperial going to be kicking themselves that that's how they've given away this lead, as now it's tied back up at 5-5 once again. And the problems aren't just limited within the scope of this round for Imperial. The money's now run out for the CT side. They're probably going to buy anyway. You know, you can juggle it around so that you still have an investment here, but it's not going to be picture perfect. I think DZT's relegated down to either an SMG or a FAMAS. You'll see that K-Tex has no utility as a result of purchasing up this M4. It's definitely like, you know, it's not a bad buy. He had 3 players saving, so it's never going to be that bad. But it's not great. And if you don't pick this one up, suddenly then you do have to take your eco. You do have to pay those debts in the next round.
Oh, and Noxie's already paying debts down low, out long. But Isurus have been able to get this position pretty much any time they've wanted it in this map. But it always comes at a cost, Harry, and the cost is a flank. More control for Imperial than maybe Isurus were accounting for, but Reversive is accounting for this, and he's ready to take the kill. Delboni dead at the top of middle. And still their player lurking out from under can rejoin on the catwalk later on. Try and split this A site. Again, Imperial, they know exactly what's going on. This is no surprise. They know it's a long take, and they're going to deal with the first man. Flash does not do the job, and the AWP certainly does. Missed shot from 1962, and that is not what you want It's left, again, Imperial in an advantage situation that they really shouldn't have, considering how this round began. And they've got a further flank. Showtime has left B and pushed all the way up top mid. He's going to have some comrades to join him as well. Isurus, they don't realize it. They're trying to cross, but even if they do, they got the flank to worry about, and Lynx right now is not watching for it. Oh dear, he's going to get taken down. It's messy, but it's still a kill regardless. Reversive, trying to cross towards a site, but he's all that stands now between Imperial and yet another round. Does he know it's a double long flank? Bomb getting planted, and he doesn't seem to realize both players are on the back line. Showtime is fast to fight, and it will be the retake successfully found for Imperial.
Yeah, so just about keeping this lead in their favor. And it will have to be another one of these ecos for Isurus, but that didn't stop them last time. And actually, it might not be that hard of fast rule here and now. They go for the force buy to try and upset the flow of things. And maybe just going to dive back in towards this B bomb site. Hell, why not? It worked for them last time. The only difference this time around is K-Tex is already down here in the lower tunnels. He hears all the footsteps. He's called for early rotations. And so Showtime putting up one might not seem incredible, but it's done enough to leave a 4-on-4 open. And with this fast flank from K-Tex, there's a real chance. But he was so worried about that lurk back in T-spawn. You think about the damage that Noxy did from that last time he was there, that he gets caught checking it. And oh no, this B site is a problem once again for Imperial. Bomb plant found and a save for the Imperial side. Showtime might need a bit of a helping hand over here at B, or else this could just be something that Isurus exploit till the end of this half.
Well, that's a worry. It goes both ways, right? Because if you start putting heavier numbers towards B, you know, your options are either peel a mid player towards B or go double B mid, and that leaves long very open. And where Isurus has been beginning all of their rounds, it's long, taking long, and you know, usually committing, sometimes not, sometimes bailing, going back down middle late to B. If you think about even the pistol round, that's how they began. So, yeah, lots of options, but Imperial, what is the solution? What is the concoction they come up with to fix this problem that is the B-bomb site?
Yeah. You know, think a little bit about the term conditioning comes to mind.
It's a classic here.
It really is.
Well, what are the conditions of this round? Number 13.
Pretty good question there, Hugo B. Byron. I don't even know if your middle name starts with a B. No? Just something Harry got me stuck on saying. Thanks, dude. Good job, Harry.
Wow. Oh. Bye-bye. Spawn kill. You don't see that often for the CTs, right? That has become less and less common over the years. CTs taking that fight with Orbs, especially winning it as well, right? You're late to the party. The T's already posted up, and they know exactly where you can peek from. They have just a tiny slither, a line to hold. Pressure back towards B. This is a perfect round for Imperial. The man advantage, you should be, you know, able to run a double B setup. They haven't done that, but they have got a fast rotation available with 2 in middle. Showtime needs said assistance. Oh dear, it's messy. And there's that rotate. ZQKS here at the right time with the right kills. 2 off the AWP. The door smoke has completely failed as well, and they've got to waste another bit of utility to get that one down. The flank is already in at this point, and the bomb has been dropped. Reversive needs to turn this round on its head in a 1-on-3.
It might be asking a lot, but here we go. We're going to see what he's got. They know exactly where he is. He's going to reach out first, find the first kill, looks for a second, finds it.
Hello.
Not as easy. Takes a considerable amount of damage, but that's going to give him a lot of room to work with. He starts to look back towards CT spawn, maybe even this mid area.
Tunnels to B?
Yeah, he's out. Maybe. No, he's going to go with the... a standard approach to this and go to A up catwalk, which would make sense. And, well, K-Tex is going to hear all of this. Should be a good bomb plan out of it, at the very minimum.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh dear, yeah. Going back for the second one, that's where the mistake is made, right? Like one peek off the fake plant. I love that. K-Tex probably wasn't expecting a fake in that position, but he reads it well.
The pelotas on this man.
Nice.
You guys know any Spanish?
No.
No.
Well, actually, like some, but I don't know like curse words or anything like that or whatever you just said.
I said pelotas, and it's definitely not a curse word.
What is it?
Well, if you have to ask You'll never know.
Yeah, and you'll never know. That's
All I know
the age-old
is
saying.
Dos versa, senor.
There we go. Wow.
Well, thank
That's
you
just
so
for me.
much, Hugo B. Byron.
Yeah,
All right.
reverse him over here, trying to pick up the pace with the MAC-10. Looking
it's a
to
bait.
get in the face, but yeah, the bait, the switch, and it's worked, but it's not pretty, and it's not really that great for Imperial. They've lost the A-bomb site. Isurus getting through Catwalk, and Isurus are doing a great job of dictating the flow of this game right now, it feels like, right? Like, even though the scoreline's still very, very close, they've made any round feel doable. And this one is no exception. This is another one where you didn't come into it with like the ideal buy if you're Isurus. And it's another one where it's just a save from Imperial. That's really the only option they've got left available to them. Are they going to group up at long and try and go for this late? They could. But I mean, half the time's already gone. The bomb ticked away. Yeah, they're not. They're just going to hang around and wait and see if these kills come their way. So 7-7, Isurus going to tie it up. And it's pretty scary how often these weak buys, these kind of forces, this one being probably like the best weak buy Isurus have had, how consistently they've been able to find success with it.
Yeah, that's a 7th. I mean, this T-side is excellent. Excellent from Isurus. Quite the mouthful.
Excellent.
Excellent. Look, this CT side has just been...
Are you okay?
That's me talking with my tongue out my mouth,
yeah, okay.
but I'll put it right back inside as we get into the last round of the half and what is going to decide the lead as we head into the second, Harry. Do you want to do some talking for a bit?
I might. Let's see now. Is Isurus setting up outside of the B site? That bomb still dropped back in spawn. That's going to get retrieved by Deco. Delboni this time is tasked with trying to hold down the B site in replacement for Showtime. The standard was, not standard, I was trying to think, like, what's the stage name for an understudy? That's it. They've swapped out. I'm trying to keep like a theatrical theme with Showtime being the topic of conversation.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, they've swapped him out over towards the B-bomb. So K-Tech's starting to go through this mid-smoke, and he's got players alongside him in the form of ZQKS and Showtime. However, it still is going to be this B-side play. Like, no matter what you do in mid, that's still going to come through with how things are looking right now. And there are two players here. Showtime gets immediately shut down, but Delboni holds the line despite being low. He puts up all the kills required. It's only one man left for Isurus, but he has dealt with 2 in response. There's the flank from K-Tex to just about win that half out for Imperial. 8-7 in their favor. But Isurus are bringing the flavor and they're bringing the heat. Find out who takes Dust 2 after a quick break, so don't you go anywhere.
pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? And welcome back, everybody. That's about the extent of the Spanish that I would know for this sort of occasion. And with that said, it's going to be the side of Isurus that do find themselves down by 1 round going into the second half. Now, that's a nice little shot there from Deco. And also, you can win a trip to Rio. If you look at the very top, gg.bet, that is ggbet.com/en/Rio. And that's reversive, deleting Del Boni.
Yeah, the one taps this round. They're in full force trace. I mean, a USP dink, it's not every day you see that. And Nox gonna finish it off with another man to follow. K-Tex is dead. And now it's a double cat take. Noxy needs to hold it down, but he can only get the initial 2. The trades are in and Reversive is out as he gets pushed down to 20. He might want to give away this plant so they can set up for the retake. Damage is being done by DZT. He's making this one winnable. And this fight, this kill, this could be everything on the one player that is at full health. Not for long. DZT getting walked on though from the CT spawn, and if he keeps shooting, he's going to get jump shot. They're close. They're fighting for it. And DZT's only got 2 bullets left. They will find him. Reversive even killing his teammate as well, just to make matters worse.
Yeah, it's the way that goes. Vitality and Complexity. Well, what do you know? Complexity Gaming leading 1-0 in the series on the B stream. Now, it was a little bit of an overtime affair. And we've got 1962 in the server, but the scoreline over there was 1916.
Close enough.
Close enough. And we're back.
Yeah, Imperial now going to come in with a force of their own. Now, are they going to have the same success that Isurus did with these in that first half? Grouping up down in the lower tunnels, looking like they want to try and go for a mid to B in this round, and that's kind of further reinforced with these 2 smokes that they currently hold. They can use that to block off the mid cross. You'll see that these players with the smokes are all down here in the bottom of mid. There are a few options, though, for Imperial to work with. You know, we could see a cat drop once again. You've got the utility to do it. But early on, they're just going to wait. They're just going to hold and wait and see if anyone from Isurus comes to them. And that has not happened thus far, with a minute already ran off the clock. Now they look to get in towards mid. Smoke goes down. Second one actually looked like it might have... No, okay, it did land. Thank goodness. Right, Showtime opening up onto Lynx. And now 1962 is going to do a hell of a lot over here at the B site. He's got to roll back the years. And that doesn't happen. Instead, he gets shut down. K-Tex lying in wait to try and cut off the rotation, and he certainly had a chance there, but a couple of missed shots with that oh-so-finicky Tech 9. Is that going to make any difference, though? Deco and Noxy, it's feeling like a role reversal. It's them now retaking the B site against the Force Buy, and it just might come up in favor of Imperial.
Yeah, the way this retake started was QKS finding a scout shot through the door, so that certainly didn't make things any easier, and he will close things out as well, finding Noxy trying to come back in through the window, clearing the site, but the player on the site had already repositioned, so getting caught out. It's going to be a round win for Imperial on this T side, winning the Force, as Isurus did, coming into the second round. So I guess when your Isurus here, obviously the pause coming through, 3rd of 4. I like that they're using them. You know, may as well take all the time you need, because right now money's in an absolutely dire spot and might as well just force because of the situation you're in. Imperial definitely going to be in control of this T side now as a result of winning that round. Of course, you know, you're still going to get rid of the Force by the Isurus. It should field here, but you'd imagine it wouldn't be too great. Scout out and pistol armor is all they can afford.
Not ideal.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? For these CT force buys, it feels a lot more reliant on either your opponent just like flat rushing a bomb site and one dude just popping off with a deagle, or you kind of rely on like just having the right gamble, it feels like a lot of the time, right? In these kind of situations where you got this force. Because the problem is like T-side, when you force buy, you just group up and you just hit a bomb site as 5, right? Knowing you can overwhelm the players that are there, or at least hoping you can, right? Because you've got a numbers advantage. Whereas here, Isurus aren't going to have that anywhere on the map, really. Like, no matter where Imperial go, they should be sat with not only a man advantage, but also a... Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and so as a result, like, a lot of this could just come down to having the right reads and making the right kind of knee-jerk reactions at the important times, the important junctures in this matchup right now. And they do rotate a third man over here towards A. These are the kind of preemptive rotations I'm talking about. You know, with links available for a fast rotation, there will be a very heavy presence over here A side.
Yeah, Delboni's got one at long as well, but there's a second man around the corner that he's patiently waiting for. See if Reversive gives anything away. He will. 2 kills up on that A site, certainly going to push Imperial forward, but they've already lost the man at long. They've lost the lurk. It's down to the cat take instead. This scout could seriously paint up damage, but he's only a shot away from death, and that shot will connect. It's ZQKS to deal the killing blow, and K-Tex to cut off any kind of rotations. Good setup for Imperial in this round. They have all contingencies covered, the long play, the mid flank, and the cat take. Not letting Isurus do anything with that eco round. Or force round, rather. Now is the eco, as they have to wait for that loss bonus to kick itself into play.
Yeah, this is where that intensity begins to take a massive hit. If you're Isurus, you've got to turn the fire back up. The fuego even, dare I say. Sorry.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not even a flex,
keep,
it's just like...
No, keep doing it. You know, I'm learning, and that's what's important here. Everyone's learning. We all know what you're saying.
I'm basically pulling words out of my culo.
Yeah. Oh, so no one's crossed B. Oh, well, I'll take that back.
Surprise.
Everyone's cross B. Delboni, he's ready for it.
Oh my goodness. Somehow, you would have thought he had 4 there easy, but hold on a second. Versive and Link still alive, not for long. An okay job in that round, if you think about it, but still, it's another round on the board for Imperial, 11-8.
I like the idea of no one crossing B there on a full eco, because you know you're going to lose a round more often than not. So, you know, sitting everyone on CT side mid, Imperial are going to be watching mid. They go, no one's crossing, guys. No one's crossing. Let's set up B. Let's go fast down mid. And Isurus just time it. They wait until Imperial, you know, close towards Xbox. Yeah, ambush. Good word. You know, they just burst out of nowhere and able to get a couple of kills, make it interesting, make it costly. That's all you really can hope to do on those ecos. Now that's an interesting one. ZQKS with a solo warp walks in through the mid doors, and with no utility behind it, he will get his head blown off. Lynx. Was it an AWP or a scout, I think is the question I'm wondering right now.
That was an AWP.
Okay. I was going to say, why didn't Lynx take it? It's dropped on the wrong side of the doors, and it will get re-picked back up by K-Tex. So not letting that gun get gifted over. Flash back into middle. K-Tex just hanging around. Ballsy. Let's see if he finds any reward for the risk as they go back towards this middle take.
Oh, the second flash is good. And that is courtesy
Wow.
of 1962 over from the B side of the map. So the mid play is shut down, and now for Imperial, they try and go back into this long and short split. But with 2 players alive, there's a lot of emphasis on the word split. These 2 are split up right now, and they've got to do a hell of a lot individually if they want to claw any way back into this round. A double hold over at the long side, that should make quick work of DZT, and indeed it does. Everything kind of holding up for Isurus right now. And Showtime is dealt with no problem. Lynx with 4 big kills in that round and a free upgrade onto the AWP. He's the man you'd want with it. And this is where, you know, maybe things can get exciting. He's actually going to throw that forward. I was going to say, like...
Got the long spawn, take it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, and there's no AWP for Imperial, right? They can rush a rifle out long for sure. That's all Isurus did for that T side, so... Got to be ready for it. Great flashbang from 1962. Lynx really follows up on the back of it, and he's been an exciting player to watch this game so far. Taking that long spawn, but taking nothing from it. Imperial are back to a heavy mid take. So many flashbangs up catwalk from top mid. It's all a fake, it's all a ruse. They're running through the mid doors, and the Molotov with his spray is perfect for Noxy. He finds 2 and a third from Recursive. It's a reversive, rather. It's a curse here for Imperial.
It almost sounds like you're talking in cursive.
Maybe.
About reversive.
Any more bars, Trace?
Nope, fresh out.
Oh. Maybe the... Orbs have been very bold this game. Lynx luckily gets bailed out there, and nothing will be lost for Isurus. 5 alive and 10 to the CT side.
Yeah, and that's the response they needed. When I was saying something about intensity, right? You know, they have to run it back here. Ultimately, they're down 1 round, but it could have been a much more bleak picture, Harry.
Yeah, now the underlining issue for Imperial is that they've run out of money over here, right? They're just going to have to take an eco, and this likely gives up an 11-11 scoreline. Reversive is having one hell of a game right now, and Noxy's even trying to pad these stats going for the mid peak. He gets picked by a Glock for like 20 damage. So if you're ever wondering how much damage the Glock down does through mid to armored players, we just got our answer. Not much. It's not ever worth it. Don't ever do it.
Don't Glock and drive.
Yep. Don't Drake and drive. Yeah, just these Glocks. So not a whole lot of excitement here. Just the unfortunate reality of this round is it's going to be a little bit of a shooting gallery for Isurus, seeing that they have utility, they have the weapons, they also have the bomb. In a round that has escaped Imperial. Not a whole lot of stock put into it either, so that's okay. They're going to come back next round. They're going to come back stronger. They're going to have weapons. And we're going to see what they've got on the board. Now that we have a tie game, probably behooves Imperial to call a tactical timeout right here.
Yeah, first one. 22 rounds deep. Maybe
Impressive.
the first time they've felt the need, and for good reason. 3 in a row for Isurus. Since they've had guns, they have been put into very good effect here on the CT side. And with that orb continuing to be dragged over for Lynx, he looks to do more and more work with it. DZT delaying his buy. We might have him go for the Kevlar AWP and throw that one over. We'll see. Just going to go safe instead with the AK. Imperial maybe playing a fast round. They have good B spawns.
And it's at the 3rd round in a row now that Isurus have kept 5 alive. That's pretty mental, right? Like, their money is solid now. Really, you know, I don't want to say till the end of the game, because there's always a chance, you know, with the warp buys and things like that coming on in. Not to mention they are over on the CT side, but they've at least got like a real safety net. And that was something that Imperial never had back in that first half. So Isurus are in a great spot right now. Also, I mean, it kind of feels like in like the mid-round, the decision-making that Isurus have been making and, you know, the kind of plays they've been going for have just looked really good. I think that's fair to say, right? And Imperial not quite matching up to that just yet. It feels like we've been relying pretty heavily on someone like ZQKS to come along with the AWP and find openers to really create the space for this Imperial squad right now. Obviously, it's still 11-11, right? It's still a tie game. But if you're Imperial, you certainly don't want this one to slip away, considering, you know, they were up by a reasonably sizable margin.
Yeah, I think one thing that is definitely different in this half is Imperial are very cautious of the middle area because of how Lynx has been with his AWP. That was never really a factor in the first half. The AWP for Imperial just played long or card to watch a cat play, so they didn't really have to worry about that factor, but they can barely get up mid without taking casualties. So in this one, an advantage. Noxy going through a Molotov. That is ridiculous, and he should not have gotten the kill, but he'll take it. Second man coming around the corner, and Showtime will offer him up as well. It's Lynx alone in a 1-on-3. He's walking a smoke. Isurus, a very, I want to say confident round, but maybe not for the, you know, not for the right reasons.
Yeah, not for the betterment of the cause, I suppose.
No, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah, just pushing smokes and getting caught out. Imperial, they take a very slow round to get into middle, but it works out in the end of the day. And again, they've been getting very unlucky with these spawns on the T side. We haven't seen favorable long spawns in this half for them. They get B spawns, but obviously Isurus are mollying the tunnels, and you don't want to run through that, throw a Hail Mary when you're holding the lead. Not at the moment right now. Money's good, of course, for Isurus. And another tactical pause for Imperial before we get back into the action.
Yeah, and again, coaches can talk, you know, at all times, but sometimes you have to call those timeouts to really just settle down. Sometimes things get a little bit too chaotic. That could be either from comms or, you know, communication issues, whatever it might be. These timeouts are good for a good old goose raba.
Well, they're taking their B spawns once again, but, you know, like I said, not rushing, not overcommitting here, and the AWP is ready, so Link's in a good position. He's now trapped himself on the right side. Still should be able to get a shot off and run, but going deeper is where the risk, well, will be run. And he might find a player with his nades out, setting up utility towards his B site, and the dodge, they spotted him. There's info, and Lynx has missed a shot. He does get bailed out, but only temporarily. A double for Delboni will open up B, and Imperial 3-on-3. They lose a man elsewhere, and now the retake is going to have to come through as Isurus a flank long.
Yeah, this is a weird round, though, and a lot of this is going to come down to Showtime's flank. If he can deal with these mid players, then Imperial should have this dead to rights. And even though he doesn't get both of the kills, both Reversive and Deca are at 14 points of health, so this could just be a save. Now, there is still a nade on Deca, and there's a chance that can be used to remove Delboni, but who on earth is nading the left side of door? And how on earth are you nading the left side of door? Yeah, Deca just throws that towards back plat, doesn't give them a kill. He makes a bit of noise, so they know he's still waiting around here in mid. Eventually, Imperial have to try and get out of the bomb site, and they do catch the timing there. They might both die here. It looks like they're both in a bit of trouble now. DZT's fine, sorry, but yeah, and we're good. Delboni gets out just in time. The reason I was a bit worried for him was Reversive was floating around in the upper tunnels, but he just made the decision to get out of there. So Imperial, 13-11. And helped out massively by that information that Lynx was pushing with the AWP. Delboni able to get a double on the back of it.
And this is really setting us up for a 3-mapper as well, right? This is the map pick of Imperial. They're looking good right now. And heading to Nuke, which is the second map in the series, Isurus' choice, that has been one that has been very bad for Imperial as of late, even losing to Isurus a couple of days ago on that map. So worrying signs in the long term, but it does set us up at least for as much Counter-Strike as we want.
Basically, yeah.
Couldn't
say any better. Hugo. Appreciate that. Now let's see where Imperial will ultimately end up here in this round. Right now showing a lot of face towards long. Showtime over there on his own devices at the B tunnels. After dropping a Molotov on car and a flash over long, it looks like Imperial want to back up. They're going to do it quietly. Just in case.
Yeah, I love this. Look at Isurus' setup. No one's in B. They're so confident that Imperial are just sitting at long, going full Na'Vi, and with that cat smoke as well, that's even better. It sells a fake. It makes Imperial look like they're setting up for an A split, and Lynx is cleared lower. He sees no one. He's going, okay, guys, they've got to be up cat. This is it, though. Lynx's flank might clear out this information, might get knowledge for Isurus that they desperately desire, but it will all come too little and too late. It might just be a 5-on-5 save as Imperial are getting ready to walk into B.
Which isn't something we see all too often, 5 of a save. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. 1962 gets himself up close and personal. And the jig is up. They're going to go ahead and get this bomb plant. Now the pressure's back on Isurus.
Yeah, ZQKS is holding for this lower tunnels push. And even as he misses that shot, he's playing bait and switch. He's the bait, here's the switch, and DZT turns it on, shuts down the first. Ooh. But the trades go back in favor of Isurus. And actually, 1962's jumped down into the site this round. Oh, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone so wrong. Delboni, the last man remaining, not able to clutch that out. And then unlikely, 1v3 there at the very, very end. Defuse comes in. Isurus managed to regain control of the B bomb site in a 5-on-5.
Yeah. And you got to wonder, like, if ZQKS hits either of those two shots he takes, that round's probably very different. That's probably a 1-1 for Imperial, but you know, the player in the corner, DZT, only gets a single kill. It was a triple tunnels flank for Isurus, and they're just able to overwhelm in the B bomb site. Wow, 5-on-5 retake, impressive stuff. Considering they seem completely clueless as to the fact that that was going into B for the longest of times. But right now, the money is dripping away for Imperial. They need to win this round if they want to keep the economy in their favor. But right now, they're flashed out on long. Delboni gets a kill, a necessary kill in this round as Imperial lose players getting through the doors. One man coming out through lower as well. Might get caught as Isurus once again have peeled off of B. Very keen to do this as they set up aggressively in the middle area. Giving long away and playing retake on A. I don't blame them with not only the amount of utility they have, but how successful these retakes have been. Reversive just needs to make sure he's at least attentive towards A and make sure that Imperial don't get deeper than Isurus know. That AWP has now come off of middle to assist as well. And Imperial are leaving long. Are they going to do this again? Spawn to B? Honestly, not a bad decision here. But Isurus aren't going to fall for it again. They're not going to leave B this time. And Lynx is ready and waiting inside of the site. He's dropped the first man in. And with ZQKS dying, a minute before his team even get to B, that really doesn't play in the favor of Imperial.
Yeah, that's not going to help in the long run of things here. And it might even just be enough.
Yeah, they're considering it. They're maybe even doing it.
They're even looking at each other while they're considering it.
Can't Alboni need him. Do it. He looked like he was going to for a minute there, but obviously...
We're going in the site whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, the save makes sense, right? The money's gone. Isurus have made things costly. Couple of rounds now in a row for the CT side. And they keep 4 alive as well. Look how confident 1962 is. He's just running low with his knife out. Going to clear it out. Realizes this is a save with the time being so low. And if he gets just 1 kill here, that has massive consequences, even if he gets traded. But Delboni hears him, and 1962 would rather keep his money intact. So 13-13, it all heats up here on Dust 2.
Yes, sir. Keeping it competitive. Now, you guys were talking about this game before we came in here today, and you're saying, yeah. They ran the gauntlet a couple days ago. It's very close. In fact, almost all the rounds across 3 maps, which is, indicative to what we're seeing here. It's a little bit of rinse and repeat.
Yeah, right. The level of familiarity again always plays into it. You have these domestic matchups, right? They play in the same region. They play against each other a considerable amount of times. And when we look at that, when we look at these two teams playing, it's more often than not Isurus getting those wins. So right now, they're looking to do that again. They come back in the CT side, and a 3rd timeout for Imperial. Pressure's on, and they're feeling it as well. What can they even feasibly buy in this round? Showtime is deciding whether he wants armor or a pistol. Gets dropped to P250 to play behind the Kevlar. But this is not a pretty buy, as it will put not only Isurus on 14 if they win it, but Imperial on eco against 14. They're going to have to play for OT more likely than not, and so every kill counts.
Just as it always does. And there's going to be a big opener there from Noxy. Takes down one of the heavy hitters over the Imperial side, and now he's going to just hold his ground. What will this mean for Imperial? Where will they begin to send this hit? Looks like it wants to be catwalk. Deco's going to get some wind of that. Drops a grenade at their feet and a little bit minuscule damage to DZT. He's going to try to get out and avenge that. He's not going to be good for it. Delboni will be there, though.
Nice
Still,
grenade.
easy number game here for Isurus. They find themselves in a 4-on-3. And those 3 remaining members of Imperial are just trapped in the catwalk. They're making the decision to go out mid. But guess what? The whole world is watching.
Oh, dear.
Yikes.
Not the prettiest one. It's going to have to be a retake a man down, but Reversive has made things easier. He's dropped K-Tex in middle. Bomb getting planted. Retake is on for Isurus. They see the cross. They know there could be players towards tunnels, and so Noxy comes that over. Reversive now has to be very careful about what he clears, and Showtime is waiting in the back of the site, watching the tunnels. Noxy trading out the AWP for a retake, and already Reversive getting spotted. That Molotov makes things very, very hot and heavy. Showtime trying to fight back. He can't hit the shot. How on earth did Isurus close that round? I do not know, but it will be theirs after all. Imperial, man, since Isurus have started adjusting on the CT side, since they started picking up rounds, it feels like whatever Imperial are doing, it's not working, and then they have to mid-round just bail from their idea, right? Look at these long takes that they're going back, spawn to B, saving, a cat take there, fails, they lose 2 players, they drop mid to B. Like, they're making the best out of bad situations, but every situation seems to be bad for Imperial, and that's because Isurus have just been multi-killing their way through this one. 14-13, holding the lead. The bomb plant gives money for Imperial's buy, but they've still got an eco for OT.
And also, you touch upon how Imperial are constantly trying to make the best out of bad situations by going for like these long rotations. Well, it feels like every single time Isurus stop having contact at the points of the map that Imperial try and take early, they aggress and they find success on the back of it, right? In that round there's that flank in through the long doors that catches the players in mid in the form of K-Tex that allows for that round to go in favor of the Isurus side. And that's been a bit of a reoccurring trend with some of these big flanks that we've seen them going on. Now, Noxy bringing out this AWP alongside Link, who's going to be holding for the cross. That looked like a collateral, but it was just the one. Delboni has dropped into CT, and there's still a man on the catwalk. Reversive has moved in, though, to help out Noxy hold this crossroads. And Delboni's dropped down in lower. Isurus going to be the team to reach map point first. 15-13. Imperial, they had the lead at one point in time, albeit by what? I think it was like 4 or 5 rounds, but it feels like a distant memory at this point. Isurus have really come into this second half swinging. They go on that 3 flawless round streak where they keep 5 alive back to back. Imperial able to put 2 up after that, but since then everything has come up in favor of Isurus. That kill there from ZQKS, he's broken his bit of silence that it feels like we've had from him, and he's taken a man advantage here for the Imperial squad now. Is that going to be enough for them now, as finally they have a man advantage to fall back on?
When you talk about those 3 rounds, flawless rounds for Isurus, yeah, you raise a great point, because economy for them has been far better in the second half than that of Imperial. That's been what's holding them back, and is now what's holding them against map point for Dust 2. Overtime or bust for Imperial, and they're certainly making a case to get there with DZT finding Reversive in this round, the top performer in the server. This shot from Noxy's going to get caught from catwalk, and he doesn't get a chance to fire off a second bullet. The A site lost, and with the money on the edge here, we might even see a save for Isurus in this round. It seems like the best option available if they want everything for number 30.
Yeah, you might as well, go for it in this last round of play. You've already secured map point. What was Imperial Esports' map pick, but this one really has come down to the wire. That plant, of course, that round are going to keep Imperial in the game and give them a little bit more money, considering they've got 4 players alive going into the next round.
And look at Imperial spreading out. Look at the hunt. It is going the wrong way, I guess, for the time being, but they're going to figure that out sooner rather than later. There's a chance they can take kills here, but with how cautious they are of the B-bomb site, doesn't seem like they're going to get to T-spawn in time. So, not going to be a worry. The guns are held for Isurus. And with the bomb detonation, 14 found for Imperial. Quite the matchup we've got on our screens here for this semi-final in the road to Rio.
Yes, sir.
And this is only the first map of a potential 3.
Trace maps. Sorry. That one's just kind of like a name.
Yeah.
So. We are there, though. We are right at the finish line. The checker flag ready to be waved. Let's see if Isurus can pass that mark.
Well, ZQKS is his trusty AWP back in hand. He was able to take the man advantage in the round prior, so can he do that again? This time, no shot on the mid-cross. There is a double setup here in the form of Deco and Lynx. Lynx playing anti-flash tucked in the corner. Deco's going to try and draw the attention of Imperial in, and then Lynx will go for the kill. The flash is good, but the spray is anything but. Ugh. Delboni able to go ahead and get that kill at the very, very least. Takes the man advantage for Imperial. Overtime now. Looking to be a real possibility, and this is where the pressure starts to get applied for Isurus in a very, very big way.
And that's such a shame for Lynx, man. Think about the amount of times he's been flashed into fights like that and gotten away with like 2 kills in middle. He's been so good, even when not armed with the AWP. So that's a real, drop of the ball, you could say, in round number 30. Not what you want. And like once you're 10 bullets into that spray, you're just committing. You're just going, okay, I need to get a kill here. I need to get something. And he only gets about 70 damage onto Delboni. So not successful. This is looking like an A split, but again, Imperial, they can pull the bail switch at any point. They can run back down lower, but they're not going to need to with the AWP getting taken down on the cross and a commitment to that A site. Overtime certainly looking likely.
Yep, certainly has that smell. Reversive doing everything in his power to keep that from being the case, but that's simply not how this one has panned out. Now let's see what kind of miracle worker the Deco is. He has this AUG, finds himself in CT spawn, 1v4. to keep Isurus from overtime, and that's going to be a very short-lived dream. We're going to OT, ladies and gentlemen. 15-15. Imperial have done it.
Well, you know, if Furia ever wanted to go the MIBR route and pick up an Argentinian, I hope that they would get Deco, because then you would have Art Deco on the same team, and that would just be like stellar for the joke potential. But
no other reason.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't know how well it would work. And also, you know, I think both teams have a pretty good thing going on with what they got. So Lynx looking to get this kill down through mid. ZQKS is on the other side. It's a bit of a standoff through the mid doors. Kind of astonishing how often we've seen this little AWP head-to-head go down. Like, Hugo, you said this a few rounds ago. It's really not something you see attempted by CTs all that much anymore.
No.
Because it is just such an unfavorable fight.
Especially not at the start of rounds, right? Like, holding here is pretty standard. Nice shot through the wall. But, yeah, taking the immediate kill to T-spawn is just such a risk. And Lynx, he won't get given anything. The AWP is back at top mid, though. It's like KS fighting down. Lynx could meet him in the middle, but the smoke in the doors is going to create a bit of a opportunity for Imperial to take Catwalk. And look at this round. We got long take, but the bomb. It's in tunnels right now. So we might see them take long, get this kill, and go back through spawn. The Imperial classic on this T side. But they've first got to get through the top player in the server. It's Reversive hiding in the pit, dodging every Molotov, waiting for a flashbang that won't come through. There's no one here on this site with utility, so he's just got to take dry fights. Fully committed from the players above him. His spray is whiffed, but Deco does trade. Do we see this bail? No, the bomb's up Catwalk, but it's walking into the AWP of Noxy. Misses the second shot this time around, and Imperial will be able to plant openly for the long position.
Yeah, that's going to go a long way here. Lynx in 1962, left to it. Quite the task ahead of them here in this first round of overtime. Lynx creeping up Catwalk with AWP. Has a Molotov on him. Flash on 1962. Where will he dump this molly, though? And albeit a good setup here from Imperial. They really have tried to cover all of their bases.
Oh yeah, no, this is great, because K-Tex is the man responsible for long, not actually ZQKS, who's down in the pit. He's just holding at the crossroads, watching for a man in CT. That means the guy inside of the bomb site is worried about short. Every single angle is accounted for. It's not from like the most standard of methods, but it's actually one that looks lovely.
I think that's one of the few things that people don't really talk about when they talk about the Dust 2 rework. I know it's been some time. Nothing really changed in this map, but the one thing that did change was a car. That used to be a burning wreckage, similar to the car on B, but on fire. Yeah. You could often see players hide behind the fire in the past, and I don't think that was very nice. You know, just view-wise, it was a bit weird and inconsistent. So the fact that Valve changed this and put a solid car is great, because you often see players hide behind it. You're very, very able to be hidden from, you know, Cat, from CT, from Long, places like that. And that's a great example of when it can be useful. Of course, you can still wallbang that, but you don't always know if there's a player hiding behind the car, crouching around. So yeah, it's a nice position, and Imperial use it to pick up a 16th round here, dealing with the last man on the lurk. It's going to be the lead as they head into overtime, round number 2. And talking of two AWPs for Isurus.
Yeah, they're going to take the bomb towards B early on here on the side of Imperial, but they're not going to commit to a fight, and they are smoked off, so really not a whole lot of face to be shown there. Couldn't take a duel if they wanted to. However, Noxy with the lower peak could have went a certain way.
Yeah, see, he couldn't see anyone there, but his legs were up for the chopping block, and an AWP shot from ZQKS that misses, but was aiming at him.
With the decision to invest back into these double AWPs, though, Isurus, bearing in mind, you know, it's 10k MR3, they don't have any money in the future. So, long control looking to get taken. Molotov forces Delboni out into the open, and he gets so close to dealing with Reversive. Suddenly, you know, that would have been a pretty, worthwhile. That would have been good, because, you know, you get mollied out. You're not expecting to get a kill there. And if he got away with it 4-on-4, you'll take that, but they don't. And now, Lynx, that looked like it could have been a double. They do get out in towards middle, but it's the shutdown from 1962 over at the B bomb site. ZQKS and Showtime remain, and ZQKS can't really seem to catch a break right now. Reversive barrels through the smoke to claim a 16th on the board for Isurus.
Isurus makes such a good decision in that round. Once they spot 2 players being lower in the form of that orb getting boosted on ZKKS, they decide to retake long. They know that Imperial took long early in the round, and Isurus had a AAA setup. So they throw that molly that rebounds safely behind the blue dumpster, and they go wide with a smoke in the doors as well, thrown from the car. Safe utility they can't get punished for, but what it does is almost like retaking Banana on Inferno. It lets you, force out that play with a Molotov and regain the long control. Imperial was setting up for a late long take, so they just walk into this calamity, this catastrophe that is the long position owned by a triple setup of Isurus. They know there's a max 3-man setup there because of the players in lower. So good information for Isurus, and it works to their advantage.
This feels like the most standard default from Imperial we've seen all T-side long, right? Double players in lowers, cat control taken, and then you leave Delboni to hold long. Yeah. This is a very, very standard method to approach Dust. They've gone back to basics here in the last round of this first half of overtime. Noxie's going to flash reversive in, but ZQKS is rewarded for his patience. The flashbang goes too deep to blind him there.
By like a centimeter.
Noxie's turn. And he won't miss it, but Delboni will be quick to get one back. Noxie's all trying to show up, but it's show time to deal with him. 1962 and Lynx left in for the retake, and they've got to strap up if they want to get this one in the bag. They get up through the catwalk. DZT is holding this smoke, and if 1962 goes through it, I was going to say there's no way that he doesn't win. Oh no, how's this all gone so wrong so quickly? Showtime. It really is showtime now. The lights, the cameras, and he hits the one tap. 17 rounds on the board for Imperial. They go 2-1 up at the end of that first half of OT.
Yeah, great attempt on the retake there from 1963, right? And more smoke pushes for Isurus. It's been their bread and butter this game, and it certainly does catch that player off guard there. So an attempt. We saw that cat plant go down, the one that was sort of for cat, sort of not. We've seen that punish players here on the road to Rio who play cat and then just get the bomb stuck. But, well, it's going to be showtime anyway to clear it up. So Imperial still hold the lead, as you say. Noxie's taken a very aggressive spawn down middle and flashed out through the doors. There's no one here to stop him. Only the man on the A site he's removed diligently. Still a double B setup, though. No mid players here for Imperial. So Isurus are walking into a stack, and they're already being flanked. DZT coming out through the long doors is going to be a thorn in there behind.
Delboni's really stepped up here in overtime. He's going to look to try and hold on to the A site, but Reversive is a man who has not stopped fragging all game long. Puts a kill up on the board. Showtime. DZT, these first points of contact. K-Tex is just kind of lost down here in mid, but he is rewarded. What? And you've blinked. You've probably missed it. That's on you. Deco now all alone in a 1v2. A lot to do. Bomb out in the open, but it is planted for the catwalk side. They tap it, they bait the peak, and they hold the line. He does get Showtime off the bomb with an impressive one tap, but he needed 2 taps if he wanted to make that one come into fruition. 18-16 in favor of Imperial, and 1 round is all that is required for them to pick up their map pick of Dust 2.
Yeah, crazy considering it was Imperial, the ones battling for overtime in the first place. And here they are, likely taking a victory here, 1 round away from that very reality. And Isurus have 2 chances to make it a double OT bonanza here at the road to Rio.
Bonanza, you say?
Yes.
I like that word.
That's why I use it, Trace, just to please you.
Well, no comment about the pleasure that you provide me, Hugo, but here we are. The end of the game.
Yeah,
I think that was already too much of a comment, but it's okay.
That would be like comparing apples and bananas. So, you know, you just don't do that. Reversive over here in the tunnels along with the rest of the gang. And when I say the rest of the gang, I mean 4 players grouped up. You've got Noxie trying to take some control over here at Catwalk. Maybe going to come in late for a mid to B. He actually drops his smoke in at the double doors. That's sick. He threw that short side, and that's landed at the double doors. Reversive does deal with K-Tex, and now Imperial trying to hold on to B, but they're pretty content with the 4-on-4. ZQKS knows he has a lot more to lose from re-peeking window than he does to gain, and so he's just going to wait. This does give up the bomb site, though. Isurus get this bomb planted, and Showtime's trying to find some chance damage through this smoke. It's a risky game of cat and mouse. Oh, are they going to check? No, Noxie, not again. This time they do deal with him. Delboni is the man to get it done. Re-smoke down in the door, and this is buying Isurus so much time.
Ooh, that looked dead on for Lynx, but now he's got to take a risk shot as a smoke play for Delboni goes above and looking to go beyond. The retake is running out of time, and Deco is stalling at the back of the site. Only one reversive has followed up, but they're both out, they're both in, and he's got to hold his own. He can't. The kill is quick, and the defuse is coming through. It seems like we're done on Dust 2. 19-16. Imperial, they're going to take it in overtime. They don't let Isurus steal that one away, despite having map point first. And now with Nuke on the horizon round the corner, that's where we're ending up. Join us after the break for the breakdown of this match.